We've been running the business for a little over 10 years now, number one in the town, number one on all the portals. You know, we've always got the most properties on, we always rent the most properties. So it was pretty good. Then the tenant fee ban. Oh my God. I felt really betrayed and really angry because this meant that I was losing £45,000 from my business in one piece of legislation. I was fuming, absolutely fuming. And I started thinking about it even more. You know, this is going to affect my family. This is going to affect, you know, the roof that I put over my family's head and the food I put on the table. I thought, I've got my team here and it's going to affect them. It's their livelihood too. Am I going to have to sack one of my staff? Am I going to have to cut staff? And I started looking at ways, how can I make this £45,000 back? I can't afford to lose that from my business. Can't afford to lose staff. And that's when I started to come across Agent Rainmaker. I thought, this is interesting. You know, they seem to be shouting about how the tenant fee ban is going to affect them and the things that they could do to maybe improve that. So then I saw there was Agent Rainmaker live. So I went and I got the exclusive tickets because I knew that I needed to be at front and centre near that stage and absorbing that information from those speakers. So I saw Jane on the stage who said she wasn't making any money from her business because she didn't believe it was a sales business. And I saw Harry come up talking about turning this behemoth of a business around, turning the ship around. And I just saw myself in these people. It made me realise that I had to change, my business had to change. So I'm straight on the phone to Christian. This legendary boot camp everyone keeps going on about. The next one's in November, right? Yeah, the next one's in November, but it's full. So when's the one after that? January. Christian, January's no good for me. I need to be on the one in November because I need to get this business moving forward. So, okay, leave it with me. Hour later, you're in back. Hi Christian, Barrie, you're in. I'm like, yes, I'm in. I thought this is the first stage to moving the business forward and getting things going. So great. One of the first things Sally sort of goes through says, there's gold in your list. I'm like, what do you mean, Sally? What do you mean there's gold in my list? She says, right, let's just do a little exercise. So we did a little exercise and basically we put a flip chart up and listed all the jobs, and we all went up there individually and wrote down what we were charging for it. And it was an eye-opener. I looked on there and there was some people charging like £195 from inventory, and there was others like me not charging at all. Began to realise that I was missing lots of opportunities because I was constantly working in the business instead of working on the business. I'd worked more on my business in 4 days than I probably had done the last 3 to 5 years. I went back and I totally analysed everything in my business. So, right, so this is what we charge for that, that's what we charge for that, that's what we get charged for that. And looking at all the different individual bits and pieces, totally analysed, and then started formulating a plan how to get this £45,000 and more back into the business. And we made sure we implemented it. Even if it was 10 minutes a day on it, an hour a day on it, whatever it was, we always implemented something to move forward. We've got a VIP Platinum service now. Up till today, 58 people have signed up for VIP. 58 at 18%, where we were charging 10% before. That's as a maximum. That was our maximum 10%, and now we've got a service we charge 18%. But what that's meant for the business is an extra £2,000 a month on the bottom line. So then we're looking at other fees that we can structure, all these extra little bits and pieces that we can add to. And again, that's another £2,000 a month we made from that. But then we come to the letter. The letter, the single best thing that we've ever done. This letter is all about increasing your management fees. You would not believe the response that we got. We were absolutely gobsmacked because the comments that came back, it's like, guys, totally understand why you're doing this. You know, we understand the world's moving on. You know, it's getting harder out there, but you do a great job for us, and we really appreciate that. That has now meant an additional £3,000 a month on our bottom line. I can't believe it. £3,000 a month from that, £2,000 from that, that's an extra £5,000 a month from some simple tweaks to our business. We knew we were good at what we did, we just needed to know our value and stand by it. By implementing the strategies that we learned at ARL and ARX, we've managed to put an additional £100,000 turnover into our business. So now what we can do is we can focus on business generation instead of doing all that stuff we used to do for free. We now realise that if a staff member isn't right, we can spot that pretty quickly, but the team are really bought into this. They know the journey that we're on and they know that we're going to be successful. We're only part way there. That £100,000 is only part of the way. We're striving for so much more.